Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about Batgirl issue. What? Actually, we're going to do three because issue 7, 8, and 9, right? So 7, 8, and 9 is literally the origin of Lady Shiva and how she had a sister and how she met David Kane. Um, it is pretty simple. It's not really much. Both of those are like filler issues because even though I like Lady Shiva, I really don't care about her backstory all the way there. Like I get it because Cassandra is going to Whitefish, Montana, because her mother left a journal, and if she dies, here's recordings and here's a journal of everything that Cassandra needs to know. So is going to Montana to meet up with Bronze Tiger, which we haven't seen Bronze Tiger in a long time. Um, and I do enjoy the fact that they also brought in Richard Dragon. If you guys don't know, Richard Dragon was a person that was trained in martial arts and kung fu. Um, where I, I think there was a Batman movie that was like Batman Son of the Dragons or something like that. And Richard Dragon teamed up with Batman and others to stop something. I didn't see the movie, but that's probably where you guys remember Richard Dragon. So it's kind of cool to kind of see Richard Dragon because we haven't seen Richard Dragon in so long. But the story is basically how Lady Shiva and her sister survived the ambush that killed her parents. They went to um a Tibetan um well I guess what would you call those? Not monks, but wherever the Tibetan shelter, I guess. I can't think of the damn word. I am drawing a blank. Tibetan temple, I guess. Let's say temple. When they got trained in ways of Tibetan martial arts, kung fu, all that kind of stuff, whatever. And showing how Lady Shiva's sister was better than her, and how she's basically her shield or whatever, and how they've been on the run from different ninjas who killed their parents. So it's basically that kind of story, and then how Lady Shiva and her sister fell in love with Richard Dragon and Bronze Tiger, and how they went around protecting people, thinking that they can change the world by training to pick you know human abilities and stopping people who want to harm the innocent. David Kane talked to Lady Shiva and kind of like talked to her about, don't you want to be free from your sister? And she was like, you'll never get me to turn against my sister and stuff like that. It was like, well, your sister had a lot to say when I went to go talk to her and stuff like that. And she was like, what do you mean? But he was like, I've chosen you so we can create the perfect um child together. And she was like, I'll never get with you. And then she runs away. She runs to the apartment with Richard Dragon and Bronze Tiger is at, and she goes into the room with her sister, and her sister is completely dead. Bronze Tiger and Richard Dragon want to know what happened, and she was basically saying that the guy who killed her was David Kane, and that's pretty much it. Where that 7 and 8 is literally a backstory of Lady Shiva. I don't really care. But number nine gets to Batgirl must die. That's DC All In. So she gets to Whitefish, Montana, and we got the Sword One, Sword Two, and Sword Three are after Batgirl. So they're part of the Three Swords. What they call themselves the Three Swords. Now we don't know their name, but they they are part of the Unburdened clan, and they're here to kill Batgirl, right? So Batgirl goes up further and she talks to Bronze Tiger Bronze Tiger really isn't trying to look at her. He's like, she's like, my mother's dead. He's like, yeah, I know, but I'm not. If you think I'm supposed to mourn your mother's death, you got another thing coming, right? And you know, Batgirl's reading his body language, and she knows that he's avoiding something, that he's lying. And she's like, my mother sent me up here, and she said I need to find the Jade Tiger, and you would know who the Jade Tiger is. He said your mother sent you on a fool's gold, and you need to leave. And he's like, you won't get vengeance for her death. You're part of the family of bats now. You need to go back to Gotham with your family and stay there. You don't need to have this life because this life will destroy you. And she was like, why are you evading me? You're hiding something. I remember your fist. I remember David Cain training me. And I remember you specifically. I remember him forcing you to train me. You know, he's like yes, I've done a lot of things and those nightmares never end. And he said we do and she's like, and that's why we do this, because the nightmares never end. You need to tell me what's going on. And she's like, you're being a coward. And she's like, why would my mother send me here to you? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, you're a lie, you know something. So then Batgirl starts attacking Bronze Tiger. Bronze Tiger was like, you need to leave, Cassie. You don't need to get involved in this. She's like, um, your mother just died. You need to be focusing on that, not trying to figure out what I'm going through. And she's like, I know you're angry. And she's like, yeah, I am angry, but you're hiding something. You're lying. I need you to answer the question, why did my mother send me down here? And when she had kicked Bronze Tiger and she was about to kick him again, she gets tackled by someone, and then she's like, "Who is this?" And she's like, "I don't know who you." He was like, "I don't know who you are or who you think you are, but my dad has never hurt anybody, so you better turn around, quickly and leave before Jade Tiger makes you move." And she's like, "You're Jade Tiger, teach Jade Tiger. I thought you was in the mountains." Eyes focus. Don't sweat it, pops. This is what you trained me for, right? To protect the innocent. And that girl's like, "You're Jay Tiger. You better believe it. I'm the one and only. I'm going to ask you nicely one last time." And she was like, "Impossible." He knows nothing and walks past him and continues to talk to Bronze Tiger. And she was like, basically, like, he's innocent. He doesn't know what you really do, Bronze Tiger. Now, does he? And then Jay Tiger was like, "Look, Batgirl, this is the last time. You don't walk. You need to leave." And Bronze Tiger was like, "Son, this is the Batgirl, and she may be the world's greatest living fighter." And then he's like, "Sick, bring it on." And Batgirl kicks him all the way out of the door, and they start fighting. They go back and forth. Um, but while he's over there talking, Cassandra's reading his movement. She's like, his training. I can read his form: Bronze Tiger, Richard Dragon, Lady Shiva. And then she was like, "Okay, then tell me, how do you know Lady Shiva?" And then she continues to counter his movements or whatever. And then she gets him in a position, and then she upper kicks him, and then she picks him up from the ground. She's like, "How do you know my mother, Cassandra?" And then she's like, "Teach, don't what? Who? Cassandra Cain, is that really you?" And he's like, "My name is Tej Turner, and I've been waiting a long, long time to meet you, Cassandra. You see, I'm the son of the two of the world's two greatest heroes, Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva. I'm your brother, Cassidy." Uh, she said, "I beg your pardon." I said, "I'm your brother." And then she's like, "No, impossible." Uh, and she's like, "I evade." "What do you mean, no? I trained so hard knowing how good you are. My dad always says Cassandra King is the best there is." And then she's like, "No." And then he's trying to get closer. He's like, "No, don't come near me." And then he was like, "No, I really want to meet you." And then she pushes him back, and she's like, "No, this cannot be." And then Batgirl, before they got a chance to react, Batgirl, "I've arrived at last. Sword number one, Naboru, the untested. The line of Lady Shiva ends today, and I will kill the Batgirl. Weapon to Beckoning and broadsword, finisher, Blue Blossom Omni Strike. Oh, word. And then it was like to be continued. So after Lady Shiva's sister died, Lady Shiva and Bronze Tiger had a secret child together, the Jade Tiger. And now the Unbridled is after Batgirl because Batgirl is supposed to be the last living relative of Lady Shiva. But the thing about it is, that's the thing. The Jade Tiger is also her her son. So Cassandra has a half black, half um Asian brother. Honestly, I love this. I love this run. This run is just just so cool. I hope Jade Tiger, appears as a more recurring character. I really do. I want him to appear in the Bat books, Birds of Prey. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want this character to be forgotten about because this is really cool. Um, the half brother of Cassandra Cain and also the son of Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva, two of Batman's villains, had a secret child together. So Batman's daughter, Batman's adopted daughter, which is Cassandra Cain, it has a half brother that is another child between two of his villains. Like that is crazy as hell. That is crazy as hell, and I love every minute of that. I love every minute of that, and I want, like I said, I want to see more of him. I want to see more of him. Whoever, let me see, who's the writer again? Let me go back. Who's the writer again for this? Because I don't want them to forget. Let me see. Because I forgot who's writing this book. Writer Tate Palmland. So Tate, whatever you do, don't let DC forget about this character. I want more expansive character because you have a half black, half Asian kung fu master who was trained by Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva, and is the half brother of Batgirl. Like, come on, you cannot just let that one go. You cannot let that one go. If anything, what I would do is I will bring back the I know we got the Titans book, but I will bring back the Teen Titans, and you can definitely put him on the Teen Titans book series. And the reason why I said that because when I was growing up too is um the Jeff Johns run. I think the Jeff Johns run outside of the great George Perez run of the new Teen Titans run. Um, what I did like is how after certain team members left, you had Wonder Girl, Cassandra Cain. I mean, not Cassandra Cain, but Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Girl as the leader of the team when Superboy, Robin, Starfire, Raven, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Impulse had all kind of left the team, did their own things, or they died, depending. And then Wonder Girl had a collective of different heroes, kid heroes or whatever. Like the team was completely different. You had Static Shock on the team, you had Blue Beetle, you had Miss Martian, you had Bombshell, you had Aqua Girl, you had Kid Eternity, you had Red Devil, you had Supergirl, you had Miss Martian, you had so many different eclectic characters, but for some reason it still worked. And I kind of want uh a Teen Titans team like that again. Like you can have a rotation of team members come in and out of the team or whatever. Um, but I would love to see this character do more. Um, that's my personal opinion on that whole situation. But like I said, I'm loving Batgirl. Y'all already know. I already told you I love me some Batgirl. So I am very pleased with Batgirl. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.